Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back. Today we got a lot of stuff to cover. We're talking great guitar build off, we're talking trash, we're talking news and updates. Yeah, we got some stuff to talk about. I suspect most of you are here because of the great guitar build off and the trash talk and all of that fun stuff. So we'll get to that in a moment, but I'm gonna trap you here for a second first with a couple of updates or news items or something like that. So first of all, many of you will have seen my video on the 5 biggest mistakes people make with spray cans, because a lot of you use spray cans and, well, some of you make mistakes. I recently did an interview on a channel called Guitar Guts. Go check that out if you're at all interested. We go into a little more detail. We talk about some of those mistakes. We talk about some things that people need to know when they're painting with spray cans. And we actually went into, a fair bit of detail on that. I think a lot of you will find it helpful. So if you're interested, I'll put a link in the description or in the comments below, and you can go check that out. And I think you'll find the discussion is actually, worth listening to. It is a long video. I come in partway through it, but the guy who did it who interviewed me is very cool. He does a lot of guitar painting as well. Cool dude, consider following him. He's got some really interesting stuff on his channel. Let's move on. Next up, you may notice I've started doing a little redecorating here. Let me know what you think. I think it really adds something to the wall. It doesn't necessarily add something good, but it adds something, right? Now, I said mere moments ago that we had updates and that we'd get to that before the great guitar build-off stuff. But really not much has changed, and it's just great guitar build-off updates. So update, they have announced the judges now. We're gonna talk about that shortly, and they're going to be announcing the participants in the Invitational very soon. I'm not sure what the timeline is for registration, but if any of you are interested in registering for the great guitar build-off, it's really fun, and they have a kit build and a scratch build thing that you can enter, 2 different contests. So if you haven't done it already and you're interested, check out greatguitarbuildoff.com. You can get updates there. You can register there. You can see what the prizes are there. Just it's time. You're probably late already, so get on it. I'm sorry if the timeline has already passed. I didn't check before I said any of that. Now, like I said, they haven't actually announced the participants in the Invitational contest yet, but they have announced the judges. So I think it's time that we move forward here. Unleash the cavalcade of bozos. Hopefully you all remember this joke. Yeah, I have new t-shirts. Unleash the cavalcade of bozos. They're wielding Wonder Bread bags. Good times. Anyway, we're going to get started on some of the trash talk, because as far as I'm concerned, that is part of what made this whole thing really, really fun last year. We all enjoy building guitars and whatnot, but it is a contest after all. And since I have absolutely no hope of actually winning it, might as well have some fun. So if you've been following the Great Guitar Build-Off's website or following them on Instagram, you will have seen, as I said, they've announced the judges now. And you may have noticed that most of them are guitar players. This doesn't bode particularly well for me, because I know my way around a guitar neck about as well as the guys from Texas Toast Guitars know their way around the beer section of a liquor store. AKA, I can't find anything worthwhile when I go there. So needless to say, my chances of impressing anybody with the demo at the end of the video, probably not great. I'm trying to come up with a strategy for this that may allow me to actually do well in the contest, but since the chances of that are so slim, I figure, hey, I might as well have a little fun. So I had a tough decision to make today, because we have Texas Toast Guitars, aka Wonder Bread Guitars, Derek from Big D Guitars, aka Big Dump Guitars, and Dan from Guns and Guitars, aka Homeless Guitars, all judging this contest. So I really had to decide for decorative purposes if I was going to hang up the paint dump that Derek sent me, or if I was going to go with the autographed picture of Mr. Lebowski and his sidekick here. And what ended up winning the day is that this one just kind of fit better. I swear it's not because I can't find the paint dump thing. That's not the problem. Oh, I totally just remembered where it is. Anyway, not the point. It was purely based on spatial considerations. Now, in terms of actually impressing some of these guys so that I can, do well in this contest, I think for the finish, I'm going to try to impress Derek from Big D Guitars. And my plan for that as it stands is I'm going to put some acrylic paint in a bucket and stand on a ladder and dump it on the guitar. And I think that's really going to give an interesting finish, very abstract. And the great thing about this strategy is, of course, I don't want to mess up you know, the floor in my garage or in the shop where I work. So I'm going to do it Dan from Guns and Guitars style, aka I'm going to do it just outside in the middle of nowhere, because why have a shop? You know, I tried to learn how to do a little, like, what is it, slap guitar, to get some percussion in there to maybe actually impress some of the judges who play guitar. So I put a little time into that, and needless to say, that's not happening. So I may actually have to find somebody in my area who can demo this guitar at the end. I've got some people in mind. I don't have the kit yet, so if you're asking to see it, it hasn't arrived, but it should be here soon. I am doing, spoiler alert, the same one as last time, the raw kit. I have a completely different plan for it this time, so don't worry, you're not going to see the same build twice. But I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be very interesting. I want to say a big thank you to Crimson Guitars and the Great Guitar Build Off, that's now kind of a separate offshoot or entity from that. Big thank you for setting all this up again. Big thank you for, I guess, sponsoring it, for providing kits to the invitational builders. You guys make awesome kits, and I'm really looking forward to working with them again. And I really, off the record here, I hope that the judges jump in here and throw some trash talk down as well, because now that we have a separate group judging everything and a group actually doing the invitational builds, there's so much potential here for this to just go off the rails, and I am I'm itching to see how it goes. All right, I do have to interrupt this real quick. As you guys know, I have a sponsor that occasionally sponsors some of my videos now. It's Skillshare. They're great. We're going to talk about that for like 45 seconds now, and then we'll get into a final couple announcements.
All right, we're going to interrupt this video with a quick message from our sponsor. Well, it's not really a message, but I know you guys like tutorials, and today's video is sponsored by Skillshare. So Skillshare is an online platform with a bunch of tutorials, and unlike YouTube, not just anybody can post on there. They actually do some quality control, so they're pretty good. They got a lot of good categories here. We've got music, we've got videography, all sorts of stuff that I'm planning on learning, including some productivity stuff and maybe even some marketing and online related tutorials for those of you who are thinking of starting up YouTube channels, if any of you are doing that. I've got a link in the description, so if anyone's interested in this, the first 1,000 people to click that link get a free trial premium membership. And if you end up with an annual membership of this, it's less than $10 per month, so pretty reasonable, and you can get a whole bunch of great tutorials. Look at all this editing stuff and whatnot. I really need to spend a little bit more time and go through here and watch some of these and learn how to edit properly. Then maybe I can do a better job of stuff like this. But most importantly, like I said last time, I should probably try and learn how to play guitar one of these days. And I think that this site is where I'll do that. So yeah, that's the message from our sponsor. Let's get back to the video.
Okay, a couple final things here. One, I am working with a guitar builder, a guitar company. They're actually fairly new to the scene, so to speak, but have some really awesome ideas. And I've spent some time on the phone with the owner, and he's got some very cool designs from an ergonomics perspective, from an aesthetics perspective. We got actually wildly theoretical, like we really kind of dove into some stuff that you don't see people usually talking about in terms of guitars when I got on a call with him. So I'm really excited. He's going to be sending me a guitar fairly soon to show you guys and to do a finish on, and it's going to be super cool. Only downside is I have so many guitars I need to work on, but I am really excited for this one. So stay tuned, of course. That's going to be wild. Next, we are soon going to be working with a couple new finishes. I've had some requests for these. If you guys have heard of Odie's oil, it's a very interesting line of products. It works differently than normal oils and waxes. It's a hard wax oil, largely. Very interesting product, very easy to put on, bonds to a lot of stuff, and I think it's going to fulfill a lot of needs that some of you have that I really haven't had a good response for before, where you've said, well, can I seal over this with a product that I don't need to spray, or that kind of thing. We're going to do some really cool demos with that stuff. I've already got a list of videos in mind. So again, I don't need to keep telling you guys to stick around and stay tuned, but that's going to be really cool as well. Looking forward to it. Those are going to be available through Solo Music Gear as well. So link in the description as usual. If you do end up wanting some of them and you pick it up through there, helps me out. I'm also going to put a link to Crimson Guitars down in the description in case anybody is looking to pick up one of their kits. Again, they're awesome, and I'm going to be doing one for the Great Guitar Build-Off. So lots of exciting stuff coming up. I almost feel like I should be announcing a subscriber contest or something like that right now, but YouTube hasn't really loved guitar builders and the guitar subset of YouTube lately. So at some point, hopefully soon. As always, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please feel free to give it a thumbs up. I would appreciate it. Remember to go let the guys from Texas Toast Guitars know that they named their company wrong and it's actually Wonder Bread Guitars, and give them my love. This is going to get out of hand. Again, thanks for watching. Hope you guys liked it. Remember to subscribe so you can see my Great Guitar Build-Off build and see me get roasted by these guys. And as always, have a good one. I will see you next time.